Hello everybody, this is Anna, also known as Anna Knitter on Ravelry and Annalena Knitter on Instagram. I'm coming to you from Vienna in Austria, and yeah, my last podcast upload was a week ago when I was in Germany. And this time, oh, by the way, it's a knitting podcast, knitting and crocheting podcast. And yeah, very welcome to this show for everyone who is tuning in the first time. I hope you will enjoy what you see. If you like what you see, like it, subscribe, and you will get more. For those of you who returned several times now, thank you very much for your patience and that you stay with me. I appreciate it very much. This time, I decided to podcast, although I haven't so much done on my works in progress, but I have also some acquisitions, and I want to tell you about my week in Germany. So if you're interested, stay here and drink tea, or yeah, it will depend on your weather, I guess, because in Germany it was very autumnal already. Here in Austria it is hot. We have over 30 degrees Celsius again, and yeah, so maybe you don't want to drink a tea. So iced tea might be an option. But I'm blathering already, so I think we should start right now with the knitting content. I don't have a finished object, just because I have spent a whole week of listening to presentations or lectures. Some of them felt like lectures. And I visited the federal and the state police, and I have learned a lot, and there was nearly no time for knitting, but I squeezed in some time here and there, and on the plane and on the airport, and I have done a little bit progress on my HUME pullover. I still don't know if that is the right pronunciation, because nobody has corrected me, so I hope it's right. Okay. It wasn't always easy with two strands. I normally don't have a problem, but on the plane or on the airport, when you don't have so much space for yourself and you can't let the yarn balls drop on the floor, it's a little bit tangly sometimes, but okay. Here it is. That's how far I am. Here is the progress keeper. That's where I stopped last time showing, and that's what I have done. I had to attach another ball. I will turn it around. So it's pretty much. I'm knitting this on 3mm needles, and I'm holding two strands double, so it's a fingering weight pullover. So yeah, it takes time. It's a wonderful travel or TV knit because you don't really have to pay attention. Only at the yoke with the increases and the lace and dividing, separating for the sleeves, but after that it's just plain stockinette, and then the ribbing at the hem, and the sleeves also plain stockinette and ribbing at the hem. Oh, by the way, one viewer commented on my sleeve problem I talked about 2 episodes ago, and you were right. I read the pattern again more carefully, and it is right. I will have to pick up and knit these stitches. So because I was worrying about my sleeves being too tight, and if it is okay to pick up on the cast on edge, and it is in Ordnung. That was the English, sorry. All right, everything is all right would be in German in Ordnung, like in order. Everything is in order, everything is correct. So it is okay. I'm fine here. I will pick up and knit and have no problem, and the sleeves will be wide enough. I still enjoy knitting on this project. I really don't mind all the stockinette, and I'm looking forward to wear it, but I have no stress because I think the first cool days, really cool days, cold days, which will afford such a pullover because mohair is very warm. I think we will have maybe in November, maybe end of October, but no, October mostly is quite warm. We have a very nice and sunny fall, so I have plenty of time and I want to enjoy it. I don't want to stress myself through this because this is so enjoyable to work on. Yeah, so that is what I did before going on the journey, because I was very anxious, as I told you. Not anxious, nervous is the right word. And I was watching 2 Harry Potter movies to distract myself and not to think too much about the journey. So I did a lot at home after podcasting and on the airport and an hour on the plane. So that is what I did. On the seminar itself, there were here and there 2 or 3 rows, but really, we started with mostly at 8 or 9 o'clock, depending what we were doing that day. So with the lectures, breakfast was earlier, and we ended at 9 p.m. And when I returned to my room, I took a shower and fall asleep. So there wasn't so much knitting, but a little bit of progress is here. Oh, and by the way, there was no problem at the security or while or during security at the airport with my wooden knitting needles, although they were longer. On the way to Germany, the control I had screwed off the needles of the cord and put the stopper on and everything, ultra safe, and I was a little bit risky. I packed an additional pair of needles in another part of my luggage, so there was no problem. On the way back, I thought, okay, now I will try to keep my needles at the project, because there was so much time. I was so early at the airport, so I could screw them off if they told me to do that. But even on the project, without stoppers or something onto the needle tips, and the security in Germany is very, very detailed, I would say. They were very strict and unfriendly, in my opinion. There was no problem. So I can say with European airlines, I mostly fly with the same airline all the time. I think one time I was using Air Berlin, then Germanwings, which is now Eurowings, and I think one time I was flying with Lufthansa, but I think the standards in Europe are all the same. I can't say nothing about other countries. It could be that the one country, if you fly from one country to the other, from Europe to US or the other way around, you could get problems. So it's always depending on the standard in that country, and Europe has all the same standards. So it's not, to reduce the security checks if you travel within Europe with several stops. I learned that on the seminar. But internationally, I don't know. So Europe and then to another country, this could be a problem. Okay, no knitting needle problems on the airport. That was awesome. I will talk about my journey at the end of this episode. Now I want to talk about my next project. I can't really show you the next project because I'm test knitting for Lily from the Nordic Stitches design store on Ravelry, and she has also the Nordic Stitches podcast, and she is vlogging a lot, and she also has a YouTube channel. I will link it down below because I don't know it on the top of my head now and by heart what it is called, but she has an additional channel only for traveling. So if you're interested in Norway and so on, you should stop here and watch her there. So one channel for knitting, one channel for traveling, and she's vlogging very much, and she's uploading podcasts relating, so filled with knitting content. And she has a Ravelry store, and because she is a knitwear designer, I think she has over 50 designs already out there to purchase. And she is designing a crescent shaped shawl at the moment, and she talked about it, and I love crescent shaped shawls. I don't like triangular so much, and when she told me that this is not only a crescent shaped shawl but also a Harry Potter themed shawl, I was absolutely excited. I told you last time I don't want to knit any more shawls because I have so many, but it's crescent shaped and it is Harry Potter related. I won't tell you the pattern name because it's still a little bit a secret. She will upload this to Ravelry on September 15th, so then you will see everything. What I can tell you about the pattern is the following. You can knit this with whatever yarn weight you want to use. So in her pattern she used fingering weight, but she gives all the information you need in the pattern. If you want to knit this with sport weight or DK weight or Aran weight, it's totally up to you. And she is knitting hers with 3 colors. I am using 4 colors. You could use your mini stash for that. You could use only 1 color and do it in a 1-colored shawl. So it's totally up to you, and the pattern is written in a way that you have the guidance you need, but also the freedom you want to have if you want to use, for example, your stash you already have at home or your leftovers and so on. So this is a very, very awesome pattern because I always stick crucially to the pattern if I knit something, no matter what. Okay, if it is really, really, really easy, I can say, okay, I don't do this increase, I will do another increase, or I do this cast on because I prefer it. But normally I stay very crucial to the pattern to achieve the goal that my piece looks as neat as the pieces on the project pages. But this pattern is encouraging me so much to just go with the flow and choose and pick and the colors, or you can add as many repeats of the certain patterns in the shawl she's designing. She's telling you, okay, I did it, I don't know, that many times, but if you want to have a bigger shawl, or if you want to use up this 1 color you want to use for that section of the shawl, do as many repeats as you want, or until you ran out of yarn or something, run out of yarn. So it is very, very encouraging to be your own little designer. You have the guidance of a pro designer, but in that guidance you can free your mind and decide yourself how you wanna finish the design, so to say, to your preferences. Sorry, I'm very tired. It might be that my English today isn't that good. I'm so tired because of the week was, I will talk about it later. So this shawl is I'm so excited about this. Now I will show you, not my project because it's still a secret, but I will show you the colors I use. 1 color I have already used up, so I will scrunch it up so that you see the color. So, this is a mini I have received with this color. Okay. This is a DK weight yarn because I want to have a very squishy shawl. The yarn is Hedgerow Yarns and the colorway is called Sand Potter. It is a sock set, but I have decided to use it in the shawl because it is so pretty. And with my other leftovers I have, it looks so stunning. So I will use this, then this, and then I have a little leftover of a homespun house. This is fingering weight yarn, but I will use it as a finish, like at the border. So I don't want to give away too much, so I'm very careful not to show the shawl. This will be so pretty, and I will knit the repeats until I run out of yarn, so I have a big huge DK weight shawl, and this is so exciting and it was so much fun. I can tell you, I am still like it's divided in several sections, and I'm still at the first section, and until now I can say it's a TV knit. Definitely, you don't really have to think, not even when you change the pattern to your preferences. But I have read through the whole pattern. That's a thing you should always do, and it doesn't look difficult at all. So it's a very enjoyable knit, and it's so exciting. So when I'm done with podcasting and editing, I will go right back to that, although my other shawl isn't finished yet. But I can't, I don't know, I'm very excited about that shawl. So I will keep you updated on this. Watch out for September 15th on the Nordic Stitches Ravelry pattern store. Everything is linked down below. And buy the pattern. And by the way, I was thinking about another knit along, because I'm so into Harry Potter lately, and now that there is coming out a new Harry Potter pattern by this shawl I showed you, I thought, why not making a Harry Potter knit along? Why not? So for me it's like, okay, it's back to school day very soon in September. So for us in Austria it's September the 2nd, if I'm not getting confused now. And Harry Potter is going back to school in September or in August. Wait. In September, because his birthday is July 31st, then he had still a month, and then was Hogwarts school start. Yes. So, and on the 15th, so in the first 2 weeks as a teacher, it's always very stressful, and I think for parents also, because they have to buy all the supplies for their children, for the parents among you. So I thought, let's start with the publishing day of this beautiful shawl I showed you, the Harry Potter knit along. For the Harry Potter knit along, I will invite you, not in this video, I think the week before we start the KAL. Just keep that in mind. I will invite you to comment the future video, and then I will randomly choose with a generator a comment of the following video, and the winner will get the pattern Lily designed, the Harry Potter shawl pattern, and then you can already start into the Harry Potter knit along. We will start on September 15th. Wouldn't that be a nice idea? And I will be maybe already able to wear the shawl when I announce the winner. That would be awesome. So, and how long we will do this knit along, I don't know. I thought about half a year or a year, because it's Harry Potter. You can always knit Harry Potter stuff, Harry Potter colorways, Harry Potter patterns, Harry Potter everything, because Harry Potter is awesome. Oh, by the way, Harry Potter, I have a new Funko Pop, and it's Hermione. Hermione with the time turner. There is the time turner. Do you see that? And her wand. But yeah, you can no, not really see her characteristics of the wand. Yeah, my new Funko Pop. Okay, so now I will keep you updated on the shawl pattern, on the start of the KAL, but I will definitely start the Harry Potter knit along on September 15th. And the week before that, I will upload a video under which you can comment to win a copy of the pattern Lily designed. Okay? And then on September 15th, I will announce the winner, and we will start into the knit along. You don't have to knit this specific pattern, but I thought a new Harry Potter pattern, it's awesome. Maybe you want to download that on September 15th. You can also knit other Harry Potter related, inspired patterns. Okay, now I want to show you my purchases, and I have received a very awesome goodie. Okay, my purchases. I don't know if I told you, but I felt so inspired by Lily and the Tour de Fleece that I decided to place an order at Spin City UK, and it arrived when I was in Germany, and I bought a spindle and fiber. I have spun before but never plied or something, and I didn't really take it very serious, but in the autumn or winter I want to start after school start, after starting my guitar lessons, because I will start in September with learning how to play the guitar and so on and so on and so on. But then I think November, December I want to start spinning, and I saw an awesome spindle at Spin City UK, because you know I'm a Potterhead and you know I'm a Ravenclaw. So needless to say, I had to buy this. I don't know, yeah, now you can see this. Yeah, so I have my spindle here. And now I want to show you the fiber. I thought, okay, I can order like very cheap fiber, which is undyed, just to learn it, and so I'm not sad if I ruin the fiber. But I did that with another spindle. It was, yeah, a German spindle. It was built differently, but it's not that much fun. So I think it's more fun to use a fun fiber and just be relaxed if you get pregnant rainworms. We say in German, if you are starting to spin and you don't spin even and it goes like this, we call it pregnant worms. So yeah, I think, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. This is so pretty and so soft. Okay, are you ready? Oh, this is so pretty. It looks like, I don't know, unicorn hair or so, and it is so soft. It is so squishy and soft. I know fiber is always softer than yarn, but I haven't cut the yarn which holds the roll in shape, but I think you can see everything. I mean, look at this. Oh, so pretty. I can't wait. I mean, it's so soft. And even if I don't knit with the yarn I'm creating, it's just, I think with spinning it will be the process for me. My gosh. So, spindle and fiber by Spin City UK. And it wasn't expensive. I think both together was like 40 pounds or so. I don't think that it is expensive. So pretty. Then I have purchased online a few cords for my interchangeable needle set, because I feel like I don't have enough and not long enough cords. So I bought 100 centimeter, 120 centimeter and 150 centimeter. So first the 150 I think I want to use for my blanket, for my bits and bobs blanket, and the other two are great if you knit a pullover and you want to try it on during the process. And if you're using 80 centimeters or 60 and it's scrunched up or something, or yeah, you can't get it over your shoulders with a 100 or with a with 80 centimeter, it's difficult to get it around your shoulders without dropping stitches. So I like to knit one round with the same needle size but a longer cord, and then I can put it on and see how much centimeter in length I will need to knit until binding off. Yeah. I think one cord with stopper and key costs like, what did I pay? I think €3 or so. Not expensive. And now we come to yarn. Okay, I couldn't resist, you know, I couldn't. I have talked about Fondant Fiber many times now, and I have knit several things with her yarns, and she has some new bases since half a year or so. And I visited her shop because she was redoing her shop, her online shop, and she wasn't available for a long time, or I don't know, maybe I was stupid, but I couldn't find her page. And when I saw her new website, I decided I have to buy this sock set. I think it is made as a sock set, but I don't know if I will make socks out of this. So this is the Harmony base, 85 Superwash Extra Fine Merino. It is very soft, so that's why I don't think that I will make socks out of this. And 15% nylon, and the colorway is called Sapphire and Steel with Platinum, because the gray is sparkly. You can definitely see this. I love her sparkle because this is not a subtle sparkle, it's like in your face sparkle. This is so pretty. I don't know, it could be a cowl, it could be a head, it could be so much more special than a pair of socks. This is so pretty. So that is, and this is, even the sparkly yarn is very soft. Yeah, that was a set from her website. Then I added, I would say a sock yarn, but it's also very soft. This is the Spangle base, Superwash Merino Nylon and Stellina. I mean, look at this Stellina. This is really sparkly. I like that. It's called Midnight at the Oasis. And you know, I don't know, but I saw, yeah, the night sky. I immediately thought of Harry Potter. For me, it's, you could also call this colorway Lumos, for example, or Expecto Patronus, or that's what I see in this yarn, or Invisible Cloak. That's, I don't know why, but I see Harry Potter here. Yeah, so pretty. 400 meter, 100 gram. And she was so kind, I don't know why, but she was so kind and added this mini. It's, I think, a 20 gram mini. It's so soft. It's again the same base as this. Yeah. And look at this color. And I tell you, it's soft. It's so soft. Oh, awesome. I would make a pullover out of this, or a shawl or something. It's very, very soft. I haven't decided yet whether to use it like together, because it would be a nice match, or maybe to use this in my button back blanket. We will see. Oh, I love this yarn so much. I mean, holding it together, it's like too much gorgeousness to handle. I mean, really. And everything is so soft. It makes me so happy. Okay, and the next thing is a gift from Kathleen again. She told me that she placed an order. She asked me what I want to have from this website. So you all know Tuft Woolens, I guess. And she asked me, so Kathleen asked me which scent, which fragrance I would like to try. And I knew that Honey Lavender is the very popular scent, and Vanilla Almond. And I knew that that would be nice, but there was a fragrance I read and I immediately thought, that must be awesome. Because these kind of fragrances I like the most. Everything fresh and breeze like is always smelling good. And this specific fragrance is called North Shore. It's wrapped like this. It's a sock soap. But I'm not sure. I guess you could also use this as a hand soap. I think I should ask the lady who produces this, because it's not, there are no chemicals inside. I have one sock soap and I have forgotten the fragrance. I have it in the bathroom and I use it often for my hand knits. I can show you the ingredients like this, but you can pause and read, but I would recommend visit her website. Everything is written out there in detail and you can see all the fragrances. So unfortunately you can't smell this, but when I opened our post box, the smell was like, yeah, it was obvious that the Tuft woolens arrived. And when I smell this, my heart is bumping so fast. I don't know, it must reminding me of something. I don't know what, but it's a trigger. There is something triggered to this fragrance for me. I get very excited when I smell this. I don't know, I really have to think about this longer to find out what this reminds me of. But I would buy a whole set. She doesn't produce that, but I would buy a perfume, a lotion, shower and bathing lotion and everything in that smell. I would use a whole set with this smell because it smells like North Shore, like ocean, like sea, like fresh breeze, like awesome. Go and get it. Really, go and get it. And then I wasn't expecting a second one. Kathleen ordered another one, and that is the honey lavender. And I have received in my swap package, if you remember, did I show you? No, I only talked about it. A little piece of honey lavender as a testing, as a tester. And I immediately put it in my whip basket because it smelled so good. And it does. Honey lavender. And this is also, yeah, Tuft Woolens sock soap. It's also sock soap. This is so, wow. It's so good. I really want to keep it like this for a while because it's not only pretty, but it's also making my room smell very nice. And I don't know if Kathleen ordered it for me or if you always get this. There is this wooden thing. I guess it's to put the soap onto so that it won't stay too wet, so the water can, drop through this. But it's wood. It could get, I don't know the English word for that, when wood and water come together and stay together, then it gets, I'm not sure, but it looks like it was made for this. It's so good. Yeah, that's what I have received, purchased and have received as a gift. Lavender apple. I hope you enjoy. Annalena Love, and I can't read her name, sorry. That's the lady from Tuft Woolen. Oops. It's made in Ohio. That's where Nina lived before. Okay. Oh, now I remember. I also want to do the fall along. Wait, let me check that. So, in addition to the Harry Potter knit along, which starts September 15th, I also want to do the fall along again, and I will do it with Nina from the This Old Knit podcast together, and that will start September 1st. Okay, I will open 2 threads in the Ravelry group for the FallAlong and for the Harry Potter KnitAlong, and we still have the year-long sock KnitAlong. So we have so many KnitAlongs you can enter and chat and enjoy everything. And I will keep it very casual. I will keep whips, finished objects, cheddar, everything in one thread, because who needs like 3 gazillion threads for several different KnitAlongs? Let's keep it simple, let's keep it enjoyable. Yeah, it's easier and it's so much more fun because it's more you can communicate much easier and comment on someone's project and everything. So September 1st, FallAlong until October 31st. September 15th, Harry Potter KnitAlong. I'm so excited about both. Yeah, and as a forecast, we will also do an Advent along again. Just saying. All the alongs. And as I told you, I had so often problems with shipping, especially overseas. Parcels got destroyed or lost or whatever. You will get only digital prices in my alongs. So, but it could be that someone is writing me, hey, I'm producing this and that yarn or this and that product or project bags. I would I would sponsor a price. I would give away a price for your knit along, and I always ship it because I'm located in the US, and if the winner is in the US, and so on and so on. If you are like that, please contact me. That would be awesome. Otherwise, you will receive a voucher, for example, from Etsy, or you will receive a pattern of your choosing from Ravelry or something in that range. Okay, so I will only provide digital prices because I have experienced it several times that prices didn't get to the recipient. Okay, that is that. So now I want to tell you about my week in Germany. So my week in Germany was very interesting and filled with information. I really have to say it was an information overkill, but everything was so exciting, and every professor and every guy or woman who had the presentation was very, very interesting to listen to and so worth listening. But the start into that week, I told you I was nervous before, and I told you I don't know why, because everything went well in the past years, or every journey was okay, and although I'm nervous, you know what? This time something happened. Okay. Here in Austria we have I think it's called provider, you know, for internet and so internet at home, internet on your phone, and you know, the possibility to phone. I don't know what it is called in English. So, and we had 2 big providers who became one big company, and since they are one big company, it's called Magenta, nothing works well. But I had never issues, but I know many people who have this provider, the same as I have, and have many problems. The TV isn't working, the home internet isn't working, their phone aren't working, all that jazz. And my boyfriend and I have the same provider, and we had never big issues. Okay. Monday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. on the tramway. I just wanted to double check my connection to the airport, and my phone said, no internet connection, I'm sorry, try it again later. And I thought, what? I'm in Vienna, I have always internet connection. Okay, I did some stuff you do, turn the phone off, turn the phone on several times, and it always said no connection. But not only no internet connection, I wasn't even able to phone. I wasn't able to write an SMS, I wasn't able to use the internet, and I wasn't able to phone someone. My phone was useless on the first day of the journey. So thank God I'm always well prepared, and I always print out my boarding boarding card, my tickets. I always print out my connections, so I'm independent. So that if something gets lost or if something doesn't work, I always have my paper, you know, with all the information, my tickets and everything. So I did that. Because, yeah, there was another story, but it would lead too far. So no internet, no phone connection, no nothing. And I was worrying that my boyfriend would worry about me because I wasn't able to tell him where I am or when my flight goes or how my flight was or something. Okay, long story short, I had no connections from my phone to the world for 12 hours. For 12 hours I wouldn't have been able to phone the police or a doctor or something. I was totally disconnected from the world. So thankfully you have Wi-Fi everywhere. So I always logged into the Wi-Fi to tell my boyfriend, so I don't know when I can reach out to you, but this is what my problem, and this is my here I am now, and I will be in our... So okay, he has the same provider and had no problems. I was so lucky because I landed, I was at the airport and I wanted to contact my taxi driver. I have booked a taxi, and he told me, please phone us when you are at the airport so we can tell you where we are so that you can find us. I wasn't able to phone. So I logged into the Wi-Fi that was only possible inside the airport. If I stepped out of the airport just one step, there was no connection at all. So I couldn't watch out for the taxi and be in the internet. So I went into the airport again. I wrote my boyfriend, here's my problem, that is the telephone number of my taxi driver, please call him, via WhatsApp, everything. Please call him, tell him my problem and ask him where I can find him. I'm at terminal this and that and on this and that, I don't know the English word, read the screen, because it's a big airport, in my opinion. Okay, it took half an hour. But I found the taxi driver driver found me. He was so nice. He could have also driven away because after 30 minutes, you know. So he didn't want me to pay more, but I gave him a very good tip because I found this very nice. And yeah, so my taxi driver found me and he drove me to the hotel, and from then on everything was nice, but the journey day was horrible. And in the hotel the seminar was held in, I had Wi-Fi, so I was connected to the world again, and after 12 hours I was able to phone again. So that was okay, that was really a struggle, I can tell you. I was so nervous, you know, because when you can't phone, it's, yeah, okay. That wasn't nice. That was an experience I didn't want to have. And so all in all, the week in Germany, so the topic was the security, the inner security of Germany. And so there are many things we talked about, we learned about. So we had lawyers who were explaining us the law, everything having to do with security. We had one professor who was talking about extremism, so left-wing and right-wing extremism and Islamic extremism. He explained everything very good in detail, how you can recognize some extremism, these 3 different types, and why these 3 types are so dangerous, and what you can do if you know a person in your surroundings who is an extremist, how you could help him to get away from that community, and so on and so on. So about Salafism and everything. That was very exciting. Everything was very interesting. But best thing, so we had, it was much theory. And I like studying, I like reading books, but I like practical things, you know? it's one thing if a guy tells you these are your rights and this is this and this is the punishment and this is in the theory. Yeah, nice, but what does it mean in real life? So in one day, as I told you, we visited the federal police. I don't know how it is in the USA and in other countries, but we have a federal police and the state police, because we have 16 states in Germany, and every state has its own state police, and overall there is the federal police. For example, if it's about terror, or on the airport, or on the frontiers, or on railway stations, you will find federal police officers. Yeah, and we visited them, and it was so exciting. So first of all, these guys are so awesome. They are like, okay, you can count on them, really, you can. They can protect you. They can definitely do their job, and they are awesome. And they were so friendly and not complicated at all. And so we have a polite and a colloquial way of speaking, because in English you only say you. But we say du, so you in English, to a friend or someone we are close to, and then we have sie, which is third person plural, and this is the way you talk to your teacher, your boss, or a foreign person. And normally we use this, I thought we would use this form at the police, but they were so relaxed, and we were per du, so the colloquial, the friendly form, and they showed us how they get into a flat with a ram, for example, and we were able to try it out ourselves. We were allowed to try out their how it's called, the vests, you know, the bulletproof vests they have, and there are different types, and the one type I had weighed 12 kilogram. Then I had an MP, so a machine pistol. This was, I don't know how much kilogram, 5 or so, I don't know. And then they put the ram on my back, so and they gave me the helmet with the microphone and the ear, it's not buds, but you know, yeah. It was so heavy, I wasn't able to walk straight. Unbelievable. Only to wear this equipment is already so exhausting. And if I imagine to wear this 12 hours and to run with this and to fight with this, unbelievable. And they train every day. They have huge muscles, I can tell you. They are really like bodybuilders, every guy there. And they had only 2 women who were able to keep the standards. Women are welcome there, but they have to be able to do the same training program everyone is doing, and to get a positive on the exam, because they have this sport exam. I will call it like that because I don't know how to explain that in English, and only 2 women were able to do that. So yeah, mostly men. And it was for me like paradise, like Disneyland, I told my co-students, because that is the thing I'm really interested in. And they did with us, you know, they taught us strategies. For example, to secure, do you say secure a stairway? So for example, you and your partner, you are a police officer, and your partner are searching for a suspect, and he ran away upstairs, and you have to follow him, but you also have to secure the stairs because he could have a pistol and shoot. And so they explained us, and we were able to try it out ourselves with play guns, so there weren't real guns, and the vest and everything, so that you know how exhausting that is and how difficult, and you can't move the way you can without this vest. And so they showed us how to make the stairs secure to run after the suspect. For example, that was one thing. Or another thing was I call it secure, you know, to follow the suspect without getting hurt, along a wall and then around a corner without being seen. I'm sorry, it's so difficult for me in English, and it is so tricky and it's so difficult. It's and when they showed us how they did this, everything looked so smooth and cool like in the film, and when you do it yourself you feel like a total stupid idiot because it's not easy. It's really not easy. They have to train this every day and every week, and they are awesome. So I don't want to be their enemy. I can tell you. I'm very glad that Germany is protected by these guys, really. That was so exciting. And then we visited the Minister of Inner Affairs, so the chief of all the police officers in Germany. So no, we visited the Minister of Inner Affairs of one state of Germany. I told you we have 16 states, and then this is Germany, so we have one Minister of Inner Affairs for whole Germany, and then for every state there is one Minister of Inner Affairs. And we visited the one from, I wrote down how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, North Rhine-Westphalia, because that's the state I was visiting. He's just an awesome guy, not a typical politician. He was talking very straight, so not politician speech like saying much but saying nothing, you know. No, he was very nice. He had very good opinions, in my opinion. And there was also the chief of the state police of North Rhine-Westphalia, and he talked about clan crime, because we have this problem also in Germany. I didn't know how big this problem was in Germany, and especially in North Rhine-Westphalia there are several clans and they are very big and very dangerous, and he talked about this and explained us the strategy, so as much he was able to tell us, because he can't tell everything, what they do against it and how they observe them and all that stuff. So interesting. I really like learning more about police work. For me I don't know, it's very interesting. Many of my friends and also my coach students, they asked me, why didn't you become a police officer? I don't think that I have the nerves for that job and the body conditions. I don't think that I would be I don't think that I would be good in that job, but I'm very interested in that job. And that was very exciting. And then there was a woman, I also wrote this vocab down. Then there was a woman who was working for the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution. I mean, this is like awesome. And she was awesome. And she talked about Salafism. I hope that is the English word for Salafismus. So Islamic it's one wing or one part of Islamic extremism. And it was shocking and it was interesting, and she was talking about she was responsible for the section who is working with the persons who were Salafists but don't want to be this anymore. So in German we call this Aussteiger. I think I will write it on the screen. So she told us how to recognize a Salafist and not calling every Muslim a Salafist, because that's not the same thing, not at all. So that was very interesting. And to get to know a person who is working for the Federal Office of Protection of the Constitution was very exciting for me. I mean, it's a big thing. In my opinion, it's a big thing. And then at the end of the week, we had much theory, but these two things were practical. So the one day the Federal Police, the other day the Minister of Inner Affairs and the lady from the Protection of Constitution. And on Saturday the whole morning we had a simulation. So there was a guy whose business it is to help, if they allow it, the military in war areas or in other dangerous areas, to help them to... Oh, it's so difficult. If there is a potential terror attack, or if there are several potential attacks, and he is helping these guys in that area to find out when and where the next thing will happen, how they have to communicate to be quick in and to be effective. So we had a simulation, and every student had another job. So we had some students who were playing the state police, then we had one guy who was playing CIA, then we had the French version, you know, I don't know the abbreviation now for the French CIA. I was an analyst of the Federal Bureau of Protection of the Constitution. I wanted to be the federal police, but that was already someone else, and now I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to try being an analyst, because that was very exciting. It was like solving a riddle or playing a puzzle. It was very exciting. And we had one Minister of Inner Affairs, then we had our, I don't know the English word, Chancellor? I think it's called Chancellor. Yeah, so some politicians, then the police and the Geheimdienste. Sorry, read the screen. Yeah, and I was an analyst for the Federal Bureau of the Protection of the Constitution. And so the simulation was like real. It was like it was a game. It was like an escape room game, but we gave him the email addresses, so we really received emails with... So we received emails written by him, but the emails were like files, and we had new informations by informants, and we had to prove how good the information was, or so it was regarding everything which could happen in Germany. So in the simulation there was the case that there were some attacks, terror attacks, and we have to find out now how the government should... So we had to decide, the analysts had to decide, or had to find the next, not goal, had to find out what could happen next, what, when, and by which person could happen the next attack. But we had so many different informations. We had like typical things, like there was one priest was killed, but we didn't know if that had something to do with the other terror attacks. Then we had some problems with left-wing extremism. Then there was something like weapon depots, and we had to find out if the weapon depots belong to the left or to the right-wing extremists we knew about. And so there was so much information. I think in that 2-hour simulation we have received 15 emails, and so only our group, so we were 2 analysts of the Protection of the Constitution Bureau, and the CIA guy had received other emails and other information, and we had to communicate with them and to find out, okay, which information is true, which is useful, which are useless, which information would lead us to the next attack, and so that we can... Did you hear that? That was Benny. He's hearing something outside. I closed the window already, but he's like because he is hearing something. So okay, I will stop talking about the simulation now. I think you get what I mean. The end of the simulation was a press conference, and so they we had a decision. There was a concert planned by a German singer, but some Salafists were publishing very bad memes about her, and then we knew about some weapon depots, and we thought they were connected to the extremists, but okay, we found out afterwards it was wrong. We analysts did, and the other analysts also did not the best job. So much information and it's so few time, and you have to analyze everything and to make a decision. You had to decide. Do you want to cancel the concert? Do you want to send out the federal police to that city or to that city? Because we had information about several cities and several dangers, and yeah, so the press conference was the end of the simulation, and afterwards we got feedback about our work, and we could talk about how we felt and what we think is the biggest problem in these situations, and we came to the conclusion that the communication is everything. And that was a bit difficult because we didn't know, could we trust the CIA guy or could we trust the French guy, because maybe he has information. Because there was also a thing, the leader of the game threw in some rumors that the French guys had information they don't want to give us Germans, and I had to talk to the French guy and I said, you won't get any information from me if we don't get your information you have about the next attack in Germany. So why are you hiding this? Why can't we cooperate? And he was like, I don't have any information. Why do you say that? You Germans are so arrogant, and it's always the same. So, and afterwards, after the game, I asked the game leader if this was true, if the French guy had information which was important for us, and he smiled and said, no, I just wanted to make it a little bit harder. So, and that is like in real life, you know. And so communication in this thing is everything, and it's very difficult. And if I imagine that we were sitting in one house, but they are all over the world and they can only communicate via Skype and email. I don't know if email is secure. So, and they have come to a decision, you know, and there are potentially people dying if they do their job wrong, in a wrong way. That was like, this simulation was... So everything we learned in that week came together in this simulation. Everything we learned, we had to use and come to a decision. What would you do if you were the Minister of Inner Affairs in Germany? How would you decide to save your people? Wow! That was very much fun because it was only a simulation, but I have such a huge respect now for all the people working in these jobs, because it's a hard job. But I have found out that being an analyst would be something for me, to be honest, because I'm not in front of the cameras and I can sit in my office and I can work and I can find the connections between things, and that is the thing I like about police work. So yeah, that was very interesting. I hope I didn't spoke too long about that, but it was an intense week and it was much information and I learned so much, and yeah, it made much with me. Oh, okay, that was everything I wanted to share with you. I hope it was okay that I wasn't able to show you much knitting content because I was away for a week. I hope you hop on the bandwagon, is that the right phrase, and knit in our KnitAlongs with us. September 1st, FallAlong, September 15th, Harry Potter along, and we still have the Socks of Stash along. And Benny is like, what? Maybe I can film him while I talk with you. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And we will see each other next week. Bye bye. Benny, möchtest du auch was? Willst du auch was sagen?